What's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy Broshmo, just in case you did not know. So today we're going to be going over basically my linebacker rankings for the 2021 NFL draft class. It's not too early to basically keep your eye on a few of these guys because they might be big names in the future. I'm feeling like America, got my America shirt on, so USA in the chat. Not really, you don't have to, but what you do have to do is go ahead, become a bro, and subscribe. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoy the content. It really helps out the channel a ton, so I would advise you to please and go do that. Thank you. But plenty of stuff on the way to the channel. We're going to conclude our rankings with the cornerback class tomorrow, and then after that the safety class. Then we're going to start our season previews for the NFL teams now that the schedule's out and whatnot, and I can't wait to look at the comments on that sucker. But let's go ahead and get into what we're going to be talking about today, and that's the linebacker class, because this linebacker class is very interesting. There's a lot of names that honestly could really shoot themselves up the boards. There is some projection going on, just maybe from guys that saw limited time, limited use, limited snaps on the field, or that haven't really achieved the elite tools that they have. So let's go ahead, let's dive in. I'm giving you 10 because it says top 10, not only in the title but the thumbnail. But we're going to start with Patty Fisher out of Northwestern. This was a guy that a lot of people were really high on coming into the season last season, and it was a bit of a down year. The dude is a tackling machine. He shows good instincts, but where he was exposed was he is, for the NFL, a borderline good athlete. He shows very little ball skills. The Northwestern, they do a really good job of scheming him in coverage, and we saw the same thing with Cal and Evan Weaver, and that's why Evan Weaver wasn't really high on my board, but doesn't mean that they're not good football players. This guy's a good traditional football player, but you got to be very smart on how to use him because you got that limitations of him as an athlete. Going into number 9, I got Paulo Ie Na Ote. I nailed that. I know I nailed that because I watched a video of him saying his own name. Paulo Ie Na Ote. Great name, but the guy's got elite athleticism, especially for the linebacker position. He hits very, very hard. He plays very well in space, especially given that he is a athlete, as we said, but he's yet to really put it all together, at least consistently for USC, but he can do that, and he could definitely rise up boards. I could definitely see him maybe sneaking into the second, even first round. I know a lot of people have some first round hype for him, but USC, they got some good players. I think I was going through this and I was like, man, I got so many more USC players in my top 10 rankings than I did, I think, at all on any of my rankings last year for them. So just wild. It's just wild how a season just takes one season and suddenly, bam, team has a flood of prospects. I feel that same way with Florida State. But on to number 8, Baron Browning out of Ohio State. He played well, but he played as an edge rusher primarily in limited snaps as kind of like a rotation player, and I think that was just more to get him on the field because he is a really good player on the field. But now he'll be taken over from Malik Harrison this season, so a bit of a projection on my part, but the guy, from the little that we've seen, he looks top notch, so I feel good about putting him here at 8. And then at number 7, Jeremiah Owusu out of Notre Dame. Now this guy, he's near and dear to my heart because he comes actually from my hometown, Hampton, Virginia. He even went to my high school, Bethel. Oh, Allen Iverson's high school, baby. But the guy, he's a very interesting prospect. And keep in mind, you'll see I got their height and their weight up there. This is pulled from the end of last season. So with, spring training camp not being a thing right now, it's kind of hard to see where these guys measure up specifically right now. So I'm just anticipating, because he's very young, redshirt sophomore, I'm anticipating him to get a lot bigger because it was kind of strange how Notre Dame used him, because he kind of was used primarily around the line of scrimmage as like a safety linebacker hybrid. So he's in the box, he's around the line. Great in coverage though, allowed 36 yards through the last 6 games of the season. Only 36 yards, so wild. we've seen glimpses of how scary he can be as a pass rusher too. Just he's really good at timing the snap, but he wasn't used a lot that way. I think it was only about 29 or 30 times he actually came in on a pass rush. But again, looking at the size, he's very undersized, but very young guy. He can put that weight on. I like what I've seen from him athletically. I like what I've seen from him on the field. And like I said, he's my hometown hero. On to number 6, Nick Benito out of Oklahoma. The guy, he blew up plays last year in the backfield, playing right next to Kenneth Murray. And believe me, he's just as athletic as the former Sooner, Kenneth Murray. The guy, again, total projection at this point, but based on what we saw last year, because they're talking about it's going to be a competition. I think he plays weak side. Might be wrong about that. Might be on the other side. I know he ain't playing middle, but talking about it's competition for that linebacker spot, but I doubt it. This guy, he's very good. I think they're going to keep him on the field. He proved that last season. On to the top 5, and we're going to get into Chaz Surratt out of North Carolina. His brother actually plays for Wake Forest at receiver. Another guy, he didn't make the top 10, but he's in my top 15. This guy, sideline to sideline athlete. He plays with really good instincts. He's a former quarterback, so it kind of makes sense that he can kind of anticipate where the quarterback may go. He kind of can see the play unfold. He was very good in coverage. The guy, though, still learning the position. Keep in mind, former quarterback. I'd like to see him play a little bit more downhill, but you know what? We're in a passing league. If you're excellent in coverage, then you're going to be high on my board. That's just the way it is. It's how the cookie crumbles, as Jim Carrey once said. Jabril Cox coming here at number 4 out of LSU. The guy was a superstar. He's a transfer. He was a superstar there at North Dakota State. 2-time All-Star, 3-time national champion. Very athletic, plays all over the field. And I mean, just looking at it, he's a very well-rounded linebacker. Like, he can do a little bit of everything. He had 258 tackles, 32 tackles for losses, 14 sacks, 18 pass breakups, and 6 picks, all in 3 seasons. So again, if he could come step into the SEC and continue to play at that level, yes, I can see this guy in the first round. He's a bit of a projection at this point. Like, I like what I've seen from him, being from not the Power 5, but now that you're stepping into that, I kind of want to see you keep up at that level. So he's going to be a guy just to watch for. Then Dylan Moses at Alabama coming in at number 3. A lot of people probably hate that, probably think he's maybe the second or even the first linebacker in this draft, and I got a 2nd round grade on him just because the dude, listen, he got hurt. We didn't see him at all last year. He's moving to middle linebacker this season, so there's a lot that's kind of working against him. I just want to see him on the field. I want to see him. I just want a bigger sample size. Is that fair? I think it's fair. But he is a sideline-to-sideline athlete. He displayed very good instincts. He was very solid in coverage in 2018. But you can maybe say the ACL's injury red flag. I'm sure it'll check out, so I'm not too worried about that. Nick Bolton coming in here out of Missouri at my number 2, and I gave him a 1st round grade because I'm very, very excited about him. I feel flashes of Willie Gay Jr. when watching him. Very just good athlete altogether. He's among the best coverage linebackers last season. He only allowed 180 yards all year. Very hard hitter. I don't think he plays strong enough, nor do I think he's strong enough to play around the line of scrimmage. He is a bit undersized, but again, I like a lot of what I saw from him. He is a sound tackler. But again, I don't want to see him play. I don't want to see him being asked to match up against tackles or anything. This guy, he can maybe blow up a play in the backfield, but it's not gonna be. It's really gonna be kind of like what we saw with Troy Dye last year. He was kind of like the ultimate opportunist when it came to that, and I like using that phrasing, but he would literally wait kind of for the blocks to unfold and then shoot those spaces. So I can see a bit of that if I could see him succeeding in that aspect. But other than that, I don't think it'd be wise to keep him around the line of scrimmage. He's a coverage linebacker. He excels at that. Keep him doing that. And then we got Micah Parsons out of Penn State. Yes, hands down, top linebacker in this class, top 10 pick, likely very good athlete. Not on the level of Isaiah Simmons, but he was kind of a freak. But one thing he has on Isaiah Simmons is he didn't really play linebacker much, if at all, while at Clemson. Parsons, he doesn't have to worry about converting to linebacker. He is a linebacker. The guy, very good tackler. He's a sure tackler, very good athlete, stout run defender, and he was pretty solid in coverage. He allowed no touchdowns, and he only had, I think, 1 or 2 games that he allowed over 50 yards of coverage. So yes, he can get a little better in that, but he's not bad by any means. He's actually pretty good. He was also a pretty good pass rusher as well. He on 87 pass rushing snaps, he had 23 pressures, which is a bonkers win rate. So you gotta like that. But that's it for the video. Go ahead, do the YouTube thing. That's always much appreciated, much obliged. And as always, until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.